Two elite mercenary snipers who don't know each other are soon sent to hold off an onslaught of mysterious and creepy creatures in a gorge, but they are forbidden to even communicate with each other. The movie begins with Lithuanian sniper Drąsa eliminating a major Belarusian oligarch and arms dealer. The plot then shifts to former Marine and sniper Levi, who suffers from insomnia and post-traumatic stress disorder. He spends the night alone on the beach, immersed in thought, until he receives a message calling him to a military base. Upon arriving, Levi meets a mysterious woman named Bartholomew. He assumes she is a high-ranking secret agent. During the conversation, it turns out that he has no loved ones. He was recognized as unfit for service, and he did not challenge this decision, as he lost the meaning of life. Bartholomew offers him a chance to find a new meaning. Meanwhile, Drąsa visits his seriously ill father at his mother's grave. He already knows that she was picked up by the drone cameras on her last mission. As before, her father takes the shell casing from her, symbolically taking away all her shame. Drąsa informs him that she has been summoned by handlers from Moscow and will disappear for a year. However, her father, who has cancer, informs her that he has already chosen the date of his death. He will kill himself on Valentine's Day. He asks his daughter to light a candle on that day and say goodbye to him. In September, Levi finds himself on a helicopter. His smartphone, passport, and watch are confiscated, and he is dropped off in a scenic area. The destination point is in a no-fly zone, so he has to walk 38 kilometers through the mountains. There, he is met by a military man, JD, whom Levi has come to replace. He is very happy to see him as he hasn't talked to people in person for a year. JD shows Levi his new home for the next 365 days. It's a self-contained Western observation post with generators and solar panels, and even a vegetable garden. On the other side is the Eastern observation post. Judging by the traffic, there's a rotation there today too. There is one man on duty at each post and no contact between them. There is no communication with the outside world here. The only communication session is every 30 days. The observer's job is to circle the perimeter daily, make sure the fence is intact, and reload automatic machine gun turrets and suspended mines. It is also necessary to check the satellite cloaking devices that allow the gorge to be hidden from the outside world. If the cloaking devices malfunction or the gorge is invaded, the automatic defense system will be triggered and the stray dog protocol will be initiated. JD doesn't know what would happen in such a case, but if the alarm is triggered, you should run as far away from the post as possible. This facility came into existence after World War II. Western and Eastern countries made a secret agreement to hide this place, and even the presidents of the United States and Russia don't know about the gorge. The gorge is guarded by one representative of the West and one representative of the East. The main task of the observer is to keep out the creatures called Hollow Men. No one knows who they are or where they came from. In the late 40s, 2,400 riders were sent there to clean it up, but no one came back. After that, they switched to a containment strategy. All the information JD told him about this place, he learned from his predecessor. The next morning, JD says his goodbyes and makes it to the evacuation point. He clings to the cable of the helicopter, but instead of taking him aboard, he is thanked for his service and shot dead. Bartholomew is informed that the rotation is complete. This seems to be the fate of all the previous observers. In October, Levi continues to perform his routine daily tasks. During a communication session, he confirms that the situation is calm and wanted to ask some question to the contact, but the session is terminated. While examining books from the library, he notices quotes left by predecessors on the wall. The very first entry dates back to 1947. One day, he heard the sounds of a chainsaw and decided to look through binoculars to the other side of the gorge. There he sees a girl named Drąsa. She senses someone staring at her ass and turns around. In November, Drąsa celebrates her birthday with cake and champagne. Afterward, she gets bored and shows off her pickup skills with a gun and a marker poster. They get to know each other and have a drink in honor of Drąsa's birthday. The girl turns on some music and dances, suggesting that her roommate show off his plasticity as well. Levi writes that he can't dance at all, but is an excellent shot. The girl demonstrates that she's not a bad shot either and takes an accurate shot at her neighbor's vodka flask. In response, he destroys her champagne bottle. Such is the fight against alcoholism. As Drasa places a new bottle on her head, she notices that the spotlights on the wall of the gorge opposite have come on, which she informs him of. Levi looks down and sees tree-like monsters climbing the wall. He opens fire on them. The suspended mines explode as the enemies approach. Drasa doesn't stay away and opens fire with his machine gun to help him. Barely do they destroy the creatures on the western wall as one of them reaches Drasa's tower, the creepy mutant monster. She starts shooting back and throws him down. At this time, the assault on her wall has already begun. A mine explodes, injuring her in the shoulder with a shrapnel. Levi connects and opens machine gun fire on the eastern wall. On both sides of the gorge, automatic turrets activate and mines explode. From the outside, it looks like a space battle. The defenders of the gorge are victorious, and Drasa writes to her neighbor that it was her best birthday ever. The next day, Levi rebuilds the fortifications and upgrades the mines, at which point an unidentified drone flies out of the gorge and hovers. The turret activated but did not fire. The drone then quickly left the gorge. The couple looked around, for this was the first time they had seen a drone here. It was now December. Levi decorated the tree near the tower with lights and hung a note for Drasa, wishing her a Merry Christmas. They have developed a close and warm bond, despite the gorge between them. They sculpt snowmen in each other's honor, and even managed to play chess by pointing out the next move on a poster. The characters have clearly fallen for each other and peek at each other even at night. It's February 14th. The girl has lit a candle and is sad, realizing that her father has already died. She writes to Levi that she is having a very hard day and wants him to be there for her. He decides it's time to end this long-distance relationship and take it to the next level. The man removes the fuse from the grenade launcher shell and attaches a carbine to it. He then securely fastens the rope to the concrete base and launches it to the other side. The girl quickly extinguishes the shell and secures the rope to a tree. Levi offers to have dinner together. He picks a modest bouquet of wildflowers. He then attaches himself with a carabiner to the rope and climbs to the opposite side. Once across, he says she has very pretty green eyes, and she sends him to the shower as he smells like a dog. Next, they have dinner, discussing their work and the past. It turns out the man is one of the top 5 snipers in the world, as he destroyed a target from a distance of 3,241 meters. The evening ends with a dance that spills over into intimacy. Later, Levi confesses that he wrote a poem for her, but he won't tell it to her. In the morning, the guy went to his side, as today is another bonding session. However, at this time, the monsters have already gone on the attack, and from the explosion of mines, the cable breaks. Levi falls into a foggy gorge, but manages to open his parachute. Drasa grabs her parachute and flies into the gorge after her lover. She lands in a raging river, losing her handheld electric rope hoist. The man regains consciousness hanging upside down in a tree. He's attacked by a creepy centipede. He shoots back and falls onto the roots of the tree, which have crumpled under his weight like tomatoes. It turned out to be the monster's mouth. The slime covered him, and he couldn't get out. At the last moment, Drasa appeared and saved him. She shot off the fangs of the hungry creature. The pair headed through the eerie forest to the eastern wall of the gorge to find the broken rope. But then suddenly, out of the mist, they are attacked by mutant horsemen with sabers. The heroes barely emerge victorious from this fight. Then the girl realizes that she has lost the electric elevator. Without it, they cannot overcome the 500-meter cliff. They will have to find another way out of the gorge. After examining the forms of mutants, Levi realizes that they are from the missing cavalry. They are terrified, for they should have been dead long ago. The poor creatures continue through the terrifying forest, with creepy trees all around, half composed of skeletons. Here the man realizes why the monsters were named Hollow Men. This is the name of Thomas Eliot's poem about people stuck between life and death. Soon the pair emerge to an abandoned settlement. In the center, old flags of Britain, the USSR and the USA are displayed. There are huge cracks in the ground, looking like the aftermath of an earthquake. Hearing terrible screams, they enter the church, which contains skeletons with cyanide in their hands. They have committed suicide. Suddenly, they are attacked by spider skulls and hollow men. The heroes scurry to the wall of the ravine and find the entrance to the bunker. Inside is an abandoned science lab. There, they find and watch a movie tape in which a woman scientist tells them that in 1946, after the invention of the atomic bomb, the Western and Eastern countries formed a secret coalition to develop a devastating biochemical weapon. However, after an earthquake, a toxin leaked into a gorge that caused the DNA of all biological organisms, humans, animals, plants, and even insects, to combine. If you stay in the contaminated area for a short time, there is a chance to avoid mutations. If after 5 days there are no signs of mutation, then the person is not infected. Also, scientist shows a creepy mutation on her stomach. Next, Levi discovers state-of-the-art computers bearing the logo of the Dark Lake Paramilitary Company. The gorge is not destroyed because the company still collects mutant samples using drones to create invincible super soldiers. He also discovered information about the Stray Dog Defense Protocol. Activating the defense system will trigger a nuclear bomb that will destroy everything within a 4-kilometer radius. The couple decides to run as fast as possible, but before the man confesses to the girl that he will not be sorry if they do not get out because he met her. Turns out mutants can think tactically. They stole Drasa's ammo bag and left it as bait. When the girl reaches for it, a rider catches her with a rope and drags her away. Levi rushes to find her and emerges to a missile silo from which chemical red smoke rises. That's why the gorge is so foggy. At the bottom, Drasa comes to her senses suspended in the air. She manages to break free and they have an unequal fight with a mutant with a saber. But Levi rushes in just in time and destroys the monster. This monster turns out to be the first Watcher of the West Tower. It was his quote that was first on the wall behind the library. They climb out of the mine and see a damaged rocket. The rocket leaked chemicals and caused the disaster in the gorge. A huge living organism, woven from human remains, has grown around the rocket. As they passed by, they disturbed it and had to use a grenade. The organism began to burn with horrible screams. On the surface, they find a garage with old machinery. Levi suggests using the Jeep's winch as a hoist. The heroes attach a dangling cable to the winch, and the Jeep slowly crawls up the wall. Dozens of hollow men scramble up the trail, the pair barely managing to fight them off. Then the man punctures a gasoline canister and ignites the fuel dripping onto the monsters with a flare. But the flames reach the Jeep, and there is an explosion. They struggle to hold on and cut the rope, throwing the burning Jeep down. When they get to the top, they heal their wounds, and the man realizes why they chose him for this mission, because he has no relatives and no one will be looking for him. So it's easy to get rid of him. But now he has something to live for. The girl offers to run away, but Levi objects. This will not solve the problem. Others will be sent in their place, and the threat of infection will remain. The gorge must be destroyed. The next day, the man returns to his tower using a hook shotgun from the Eastern Armory. During the communication session, Bartholomew joins the conversation and asks if he went downstairs. Levi lies that he hasn't, and the supervisor orders the Eastern Observer eliminated. It turns out she's already seen the footage from the lab in the gorge and orders a team to be assembled for departure. Next, the pair mines the satellite cloakers on both sides, and then a helicopter shows up. And then they begin to be pursued by armed drones. After destroying the soulless birds, they reach safe positions 4 kilometers away. Meanwhile, Bartholomew and a soldier find a wall of quotes in the West Tower. The last quote left by Levi Kane. 3 things cannot be hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. The snipers detonate the explosives with precise shots and destroy the cloaking devices. The siren sounds and the Stray Dog Protocol is initiated. Realizing what is about to happen, Bartholomew quickly jumps into the helicopter, and then a nuclear explosion destroys everything within a radius of 4 kilometers, including the helicopter with his aunt. The shockwave drops Levi into the river. Drasa waits for him for 5 days. Realizing she's not infected, she goes to France. And there she opens an envelope with poems Levi has written for her. It's April. She's working as a waitress, and Levi appears at her table. He apologizes for being late and they kiss passionately. Write in the comments what you think of the film. Like and subscribe to the channel.